It's like baby steps. You know, you got to work your way to get to something.
With each passing year, Strike Force staged exercises, and with each passing year, they learned how to be better.
One thing is equipment. I think over the years, a lot of times our equipment may have not been up to the standard that it needed to be. Being able to administer repairs to equipment as needed, to being able to sustain them with fuel for their bodies as well as the equipment is vital for us to be effective. You start working on your playbook, and then you find out things that don't work as well, and you start adapting or adding things in.
We've upgraded a lot of our equipment with loaders. We have discovered as you go through, we had some people in the field who maybe weren't as gung-ho about certain pieces of equipment. For instance, the grade all, which is an excavator on wheels, so you can move down the highway with that quickly. It became very apparent early on in this process that a grade all, in some instances, was an excellent tool.
As we got deeper into it, we started learning about things that we need to do. You know, you've got to be self-sustainable with fuel, right? So we've got tanks.
Now a 3,000-gallon fuel tank is part of the team, as well as a 1,000-gallon fuel tank that can be taken directly to equipment in the field to cut downtime.
We want to be able to leave no more than 48 hours after the initial call. Now, there's a lot of things that have to happen. Obviously, we can't just keep food stored. So we have to buy food, get it prepared for a deployment, and we have to have some idea of how long the deployment's going to be. When we do exercises, we're only gone for 3-4 days. But our 8-man crew that we would send to a real event, we have to have enough stuff for them to survive for 2 weeks. So we have to buy food, we have to arrange for fuel deliveries. We want the equipment gone through by the mechanics in the garages before they hit the road.
I get all the equipment together, the trailers, the trucks, whatever we're going to take, front end loaders, excavators, trailers to carry the equipment on, the trailers for the supply pods that we take with us. I make sure everything's in the supply pod that we're going to need.
This trailer here is basically the tool pod. They call it the pod. The hopes is that we have everything on there, hand tools, anything else, equipment to support the work crew, hopefully for every situation. You've got your plasticware, extra sleeping bags, stuff for cooking and living. And then over here on this side is safety equipment and rain suits, vest, hard hats. On the bottom, we've got chainsaws.
With so much equipment from every part of the state,
standardization, it just becomes more and more important, it seems like, to have everything to be not just similar, but identical. You've got all different belts, hoses, fittings, everything's different, so you have to either keep a lot of it or just live with the downtime. So what Strike Force and Equipment Committee being able to standardize our equipment across the board allows us to do is, if they send a piece of equipment from Memphis to Mountain City, I know that piece of equipment matches the loader, for example, that I have in Johnson City. All the hoses, maybe the garage has already got made up that tear out on the end of the boom. We know they're the same. We can replace them. The mechanics have a comfort and confidence working on the machinery if it's all the same, and it just really ups your ability, your uptime. Your uptime goes through the roof as long as everything matches. Even if it breaks down, you're able to repair it in a timely manner.
We're in the front end loader. It has a clown bucket where you can pick up trees and debris out of the road. The bucket will open up. You've got a lever in here to raise it up and open it up to clamp on the trees and debris, or you push mud out of the road.
We've got people bringing compatible equipment to the table. So yeah, that does seem like a small thing, but when you need a front end loader to work, and you need a bucket, and your bucket won't has been damaged or whatever, and this guy's got one, but it won't fit your piece of equipment, that's not good.
Mechanics come along to keep the equipment running. Cooks come along to keep the crews running.
You got to have all these thoughts in mind to count how many meals you got to fix these guys, because they're going to be working 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. It's unknown, but you got to keep these guys fed and keep them plenty of water, keep them hydrated.
You've got a support staff that's helping you.
When you're talking about logistics, we're making sure that they have the equipment that they need, they have the supplies that they need. If they don't, then we make sure that we get them to them.
And those trailers that were too much trouble early on, beefed up frames, and of course standardized connections with generators have tamed their troubled past. Everything working together.
You wouldn't think that all this bunch of people could come together into one force and do what we do.